Morning guys, it's about 6 a.m. We're glad to be back from our 5-day expedition. The next one's going to be even longer, so that was a good test of all the systems. Everything works as it should. No major problems along the way except ones that I caused, so that's always a good thing. Got something I want to show you that I'm going to be working on today. Let's check it out. So after doing some research and looking on the Steel Soldier's website, I came across some part numbers and went on the website to order the parts. I'll scan over them here a little bit so you guys can see them. I think the total was about 60 bucks for everything, but it's the stupidest thing. It's just these little washers and rubber gaskets. And so what I think I'm going to do today is I'm going to attempt to. I hear horror stories of parts flying everywhere when they take them apart. I'm going to attempt to take apart and rebuild the air over hydraulic cab lift system, because mine is starting to fail. You hold the button down and it doesn't really move anything. It'll move it and then stop and then make funny noises. So something's going on. Fluid probably needs to be changed too. It's probably the original fluid that's in there, but let's get Abel spun around here and I'll start taking that apart and seeing how that goes. Let me show you guys what happens when I try to do the air over hydraulic cab lift. Hear how it's skipping a beat. So it does work, but it'll get to the point where it won't work so good anymore. It used to go up like twice as fast, so I'm sure some of the gaskets in there are going bad. Oh, that's all you get. So now I have to pump it the rest of the way by hand. So that's the problem we're coming across. Is this what the hubbub is all about? I guess I'm not understanding what's so difficult, but I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by saying that. Looks like you've got a return line and a pressure line and an air line. That's it. That's all that's connected to this thing, and then it's got a little motor on the back of it. I can see if you didn't, there's probably a spring in here or something, so that if you don't squeeze these two halves together while you're taking it apart, all hell breaks loose. I could see that. Other than that, I don't know. I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by... I'm going to just take the whole thing apart, clean it, and put new gaskets in it. So let's get started with that. Alright guys, I got it apart. Look at all this crud in here. I can't tell right off the bat where these all these little gaskets go. Obviously the O-ring ones, the bigger ones. Obviously these guys go on the outside there. I can see that. But I'm not 100% certain where these guys go. Looks like one of them may have deteriorated 100%, so I'm going to have to take that apart and figure out where they go. So we'll keep moving forward here. Where do these go? Where does this go and where does this go? I've got this piece here, and it looks like there's a gasket inside there. Is that the smaller one? Is that this one? And then I got this gasket here. I have no idea where it goes. Does it go on the spring plunger or what? Please help. Guys, I uploaded this file to the files section on the LMTV Facebook page, and you see this little black, that's the gasket I'm missing, I think. 211082. I don't know if the part numbers match up or what. Oh, I'm sorry. Focus. 202613. If you follow that up, it points to this gasket right here, which is totally gone. There was no sign of it. And it goes inside this plunger here. So that was probably the problem. There is this gasket that goes down inside here too, so I think I'm going to make an attempt to replace both of them while I have it apart, and then that should solve the problems. Okay, this is the little bumper gasket that you've got to replace. Per the drawings, and come on, focus camera. Well, my camera apparently doesn't want to focus today. Anyhow, there is a, it's cone shaped, kind of. And the expanded part goes towards the bottom of this. So you'll pull this circlip out, and then there's a metal retainer here. And then there's this. And you see how this one's kind of worn out, the edge isn't there still. So it flares out at the bottom. And you want this part, the little ring that flares out, pointed down, and you have to kind of push it in with the screwdriver handle, lube it up with some ATF or whatever, and push it in with the screwdriver handle, and then put this assembly back together. That other gasket, which was totally gone, goes on this plunger, which is probably the reason mine wasn't working worth a ding dong. So that gasket goes there. And then of course these O-rings go on the actual cylinder, and then this piston goes inside that. I'm going to get this put back together, and then we're going to clean out the fluid tank with a Mighty Vac, and then put everything back together and cross our fingers. got everything reassembled. Got the tank back up there, got the lines put back on in the correct orientation. Let's build some pressure up in the tanks and give it a test. Alright, tank should be full. Let's see what happens. Amazing. Absolutely nothing is happening. Maybe because it wasn't primed and I cleaned out all the fluid from it. Try a different setting here. Let's try a spare tire. Had to prime it, so what I did is I lifted it and moved the selector from lower to raise with the pump handle, and not much very much air left in the system, but look, it works. So yeah, don't freak out if it doesn't prime right away. Mess around with the knobs and use the manual a couple times. I don't know why that worked, but it did. So now it's back to pumping at the same speed it used to, although there's hardly any air left in the tanks. I'm going to fill them up again here, and we'll do a full cab tilt once I fill the tanks back up again. Okay, the truck just finished filling with air. Let's give her a try. Yeah, buddy. That's the normal speed it should be going at. Will we make it all the way to the top? Works so much better now. That gasket that goes around the spring plunger inside mine was totally deteriorated and gone. You could see all the little bits and pieces of it, but there was absolutely nothing left of it. It was 100% gone. This is the way it should work. Plenty of power now. You know, that fix with all the internet hype and everything around it, saying things are gonna fall apart and it'll break and it's hard to do and the difficulty level is really high. I found it to be pretty simple, aside from the fact that the donut gasket around the plunger was gone, so I didn't know where that gasket was supposed to go, but looking at the PDF, it showed me where it should go, where that part number sits, and I was able to put it back together. So one more maintenance item done with and down, and just a few more to go. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, I'd really like to have you as a subscriber. Got a lot of content I like to put out that's helpful, hopefully helpful to you guys. And if not, if you don't own one of these vehicles, maybe you learned something in the process. So other than that, that's going to be it from me today, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye-bye.